Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Brie and I am so happy that you are here. Some of you might already know me from my Instagram or my TikTok account, but since this is my first full-length video on the channel, I wanted to take a moment to just talk a little bit about the future of this channel and what you can expect from me. So this 2026 reading journal setup video is actually only the first of a 4-part mini-series, and the reason for that is that I have set up a lot of spreads in this reading journal. I have definitely gone overboard with it and I have over 7 hours of footage, so I thought it would be easier for you to watch and also easier for me to edit in smaller bite-sized pieces. So if all goes according to plan, I will be sharing these videos throughout December, and I'm also hoping to share my 2026 bullet journal setup video as well, hopefully sometime during the middle of the month. Then for next year, I have some flip through videos planned. I am currently in the process of filling up my second reading journal of the year and also my manga journal, so I definitely want to do a full flip through of those. Then I would also like to dedicate a separate video for flipping through all the spreads I set up for this reading journal. And after the flip throughs, I would also love to start making monthly bullet journal and reading journal setup videos starting next year. So yeah, I have a lot planned, and if that is something that you think you might enjoy, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. So for this cover I choose this super pretty sticker from Marigona Suli Art. If you've been into journaling for a while, I'm pretty sure that you have heard of her already, and if not, I highly recommend that you check her out. She makes the prettiest witchy stickers ever, and this one is actually from a collection she released back in May. I ended up using this sticker for my cover page because I thought that it was just so stunning and so magical, and basically just perfect for a reading journal, I would say. I'm a huge fan of the pastel pink, blue and purple combination, so I wanted to use stickers and washi tapes that would fit this color combination. But looking back on it now, that it has been already a few days since I set up this spread, I feel like the stickers ended up blending in a little bit too much with the background decoration. So if I were to do this again now, I would probably choose more neutral looking colors for the background decoration to make the sticker stand out a little bit more. But well, it is what it is now, and overall I think it still turned out very pretty. I really love how it looks now, and I think it's like the perfect cover page for my 2026 reading journal. Oh, and by the way, this pet tape that you see me using right here is from an artist called Taylor Ryan Design. I think it's the perfect sticker for a reading journal. It just looks so magical, and I think it fit perfectly with this setup. So basically when I saw that she was going to release this pet tape, I knew that I would have to get it because, like I said, it was just the perfect fit for a reading journal. So you will see me use it quite a bit. I will try to mention all the small artists that I'm using stickers or other stationery from, but if I forget to mention one of them, you can always just ask in the comments and I will try to get back to you. Now, with that being said, you can see me being quite close to wrapping up this cover page. I'm just adding some decorations. These butterflies are from Mochi Bujo's shop, by the way, Ikigai Papier. And yeah, I'm taping down the title of the page because, well, it's obvious that it's a reading journal, but I wanted to have it sort of as a title on the page anyway. And yeah, I'm just adding the final decorations here, some sparkles and stars and more butterflies to sort of finish up the look for the cover. And now we can move on to my index pages. For this, I'm using an entirely different set of stickers and stationery because you will see that I'm going to use different themes for every single spread that I make, and the reason for that is simply because I feel like it's more interesting for me to look at if I have different themes for each spread. I just enjoy making different looks for the pages. And also another big reason is that by having different themes for each spread, it gives me a very good opportunity to be able to use more of my stationery, because I have quite a big collection and there are some stickers that I never got the right opportunity to use. So by having different themes in my reading journals and also my bullet journal, it gives me a chance to use stickers that otherwise I couldn't use so far. This particular collection is from a small business called The Giving Girl, and the theme is sort of like butterflies and fields and that kind of stuff, and I thought that it was very fitting to continue the setup for my reading journal, because even though it's a different theme than what I had for my cover, it's just as magical, and that's the kind of vibe that I wanted to keep for this journal. And I have to say that so far I'm really loving how the index spreads are turning out. I think the stickers from this collection were really cute, especially the kitten and the butterflies, the fairies, all of that. I think they just look so nice together. And now you can see that I'm drawing the lines, sort of like the borders for the pages, because when it comes to index spreads, I have sort of like a setup I prefer to go for, which is to have the top and the bottom of the page decorated, and then I will usually have some borders around the page, and you will soon see that I will start coloring in the lines. So yeah, I'm just setting up the borders for the second page, and this is just to make the page look a bit more contained, so to speak, and I feel like it just makes it look more put together. And yeah, here, like I mentioned, I'm just coloring in every second line. I feel like this makes the page look less empty, even though I haven't yet started to write down anything. And I'm just adding the final decoration now, some sparkles to make the page look less empty and to basically just give it that finishing look. And then I am going to move on to the second index page setup, because I've learned from my mistake from my very first reading journal that I had this year, that one page for the index is not enough. I typically write down every single title of the book that I read, because I make spreads for every book. And yeah, like I said, one page of index is not enough. So for this journal, I'm going to start by setting up two. Well, I'm going to finish setting up this second index spread. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I separated these setup videos, because when I tried to plan out this reading journal, I put a lot of thought into the order of the pages, and I made sort of like 4 categories. The first being for goals, second for trackers, third for challenges, and fourth for statistics. So this is also the same way that I separated the videos. So in this first video, after I am done with the cover and the index pages, I will move on to setting up my goal spreads for this year. In the second video, you will see me set up pages to track the books that I actually read. The third video will be to keep track of the reading challenges, because I love me a good reading challenge or 4, so I always have some spreads dedicated to that. And lastly, if you've been following me on Instagram or TikTok, you probably know that I love my statistics, so no better way to end up the spreads that I set up in this reading journal than by doing a few spreads for my statistics. So I really wasn't kidding when I said that I set up a lot of spreads. I truly went overboard this time, But the truth is that I simply enjoy the process of setting up all these spreads, the collaging, the decorating, all of it. And I also really enjoy getting to fill in my reading journal when I finish a book. There's just something so satisfying about being able to go back to all of these spreads that I set up and then just seeing them being filled up throughout the year. So yeah, it's a lot of pages, but I really enjoyed doing them, and I know for a fact that I will really enjoy filling them out whenever I finish a book. I'm hoping that I will be able to show that to you on my Instagram, just like I've been doing throughout the past months. But yeah, now that my index pages are done, we can finally move on to the actual spreads. My goal pages will be the first one that I'm going to set up. As you can probably already see from the page, my goal for next year is to read 100 books, which is a huge number, I know, but I feel like I can do it if I manage to be a bit more productive with my time, like scroll less on social media and read more. Then, other than the number of books that I want to read next year, I set up a few smaller goals. The number of pages is not as important, it's mainly just so I can keep myself accountable. Because of course, if I chose to read very short books, then it wouldn't be so hard to reach my goal. Then I also want to read 25 audiobooks, which might not sound like much, but it's still a significantly higher number of audiobooks that I've managed to read these past years. And other than that, I also want to read some physical books. I mainly read ebooks, if that wasn't clear. And I also want to read some new authors. I want to read more books with representation, more diverse books, and also more diverse authors. And one important goal for me this year is to also read books from my TBR, aka books that I own, because I do own a lot of books. I bought a lot of ebooks which were on sale, and I haven't managed to read that many of them because I'm constantly reading books from the library. So yeah, that's another important goal for me. And on the right side, I just have a tracker spread, which is very extra, I know, but I only made that so I can see if at the end of each month I am on track to reach my goals. So that's it for my goals. Basically, I'm very excited to start reading next year and to see how I can reach these goals that I set for myself. I'm a bit nervous about that 100 books, to be honest, but this year my goal was to read 80 books, and at the moment of me recording this, at the end of November, I am very close to reaching that 80 books, so I will probably read more than that. I won't quite reach 100 books this year, but I am confident that if I manage to be a bit more productive with my time, like I said, then I can actually reach my goal of 100 books in 2026. But that was it for my goals for 2026, and now we can move on to my next spread, which is one of my favorite spreads, the bookshelves. This particular setup is inspired by another creator called Cozy with Cathy, and the stickers that I will be using for both of my shelfie spreads are from Marigona Suli Art, the same artist who made the sticker that I used on my cover, because I think her stickers are the perfect match for this kind of magical looking spread. Also, if you are unfamiliar with how this kind of spread works, basically every time that you finish reading a book, you can write in the title of the book and then color in the spine of the book. Now you can actually color code it based on several things depending on what you want to keep track of. It can be the star ratings, the genre of the book, the month you read the book in. Personally, for next year, I'm going to color code them based on the genres of the book. I've done the star ratings for this year, and I realized that I ended up with basically the same three colors on the spreads, because, well, one could argue that it's a good thing that I know my reading taste well enough that most of the books that I read end up being 3, 4, or 5 stars. But when it comes to spreads like this, I don't think it looks as good if you have like several books of the same color next to each other. So that's why I decided that for next year I'm going to color code them based on the genres. Because my goal for next year is to read 100 books, I ended up making a second bookshelf spread just to make sure that I have enough space. Actually, I ended up drawing a total of 105 or 106 books on these spreads. I doubt that I will read that many. Like, I will be happy if I manage to complete my goal of 100 books, but I figured it would be safest to leave a bit of room for myself just in case I become like extra productive next year and manage to surpass my goal. Looking back at all these spreads that I've set up now that I'm doing the voiceover, I'm honestly feeling so excited to start filling them up. Like I said before a few times, it's always so satisfying for me to do after I finish reading a book, and I can't wait to share the progress with you. This year I actually filmed a little video every single time I finished a book and then uploaded that to my Instagram, and I would like to do the same next year, but I think that instead of filming a video after every single book that I finish, I will maybe do one at the end of each month, so I can include all the books that I finished in the said month, so I can share with you little monthly updates about how my reading journal is looking when I have managed to fill it out a little bit. I am super excited for it. It's always such a joy for me to do this. It feels like a reward basically for getting to finish a book that I can then come to my reading journal and then update it and just see all the spreads filling in. Then next we can move on to one of my favorite spreads that I set up in this entire reading journal. I know probably many of you watching are already recognizing what this is just from what is already set up on the page, but I want to explain it a little bit anyway, just in case there is anyone watching who is unfamiliar with it or who is only now thinking of setting up their very first reading journal, and maybe they are not that familiar with all the spreads and all the challenges that we typically do. So this one is called the Goodreads challenge, based on how you can also challenge yourself on Goodreads to read a certain number of books a year. Then each time you finish reading a book, you can come back to this spread and then color in a box. Personally, I'm going to color them in based on the month that I read the book in, because I think it looks very nice to have a visual representation of how many books I read in a month. Now, because I knew that this page will end up being very colorful after I finish coloring in all the boxes, I thought that it would make the most sense if the decoration on the spread was not so colorful. That's why I chose stickers and washi tapes that were predominantly black or gray or white, and that's how I ended up with this kind of witchy theme for this spread, which I absolutely adore, and like I said, it's one of my favorite spreads that I set up in this reading journal. And just like I did on my previous spreads for the bookshelves, I also left some extra space for myself here, so I could set up like a bonus section just in case I managed to read more than those 100 books that I originally had as my goal. I know I keep saying that I don't know if I will even manage to reach that goal, but to be honest, I would rather have a bit of extra space for myself then not have enough space to track all the books that I read next year. Oh yeah, and another thing I wanted to address, I know I said earlier that I will have a separate video for all the challenge spreads, and the reason why I included this Goodreads challenge spread here and not in that video is because I consider this to be a spread that belongs rather to my goals than to challenges, even though it's called a challenge. And the reason for that is because I'm going to use this spread to track the number of books that I read and to track that I managed to reach that 100 books goal that I set for myself. But with that out of the way, we can now move on to the very last spread that I'm going to set up in this video, which is going to be my 26 in 2026 spread. It is exactly what the name suggests. I'm going to list out 26 books that I want to read in 2026, and this spread is just a way to keep track of those books. So each time I finish one of these books that I have on this list, I can come back to this spread and color in the star rating of the book, and this will be color coded based on which month I finished each book. Basically for the entire reading journal I will keep the same color for every month, so it will be easy for me to tell which month I finished a book just by looking at the color that I used for the star ratings. Soon you will see which books I ended up choosing for next year, but basically these are books that I've been meaning to read for a long time, but I just never managed to get around to actually picking them up. I tried to pick books from my TBR, so books that I actually own, and I think about 10 or maybe even more than 10 of these books are books that I've bought, because to be honest I ended up buying a lot of ebooks this year and I wasn't that good at actually reading them, so I was hoping that by including them in this 26 in 2026 goal spread, I would be more motivated to actually get to reading them next year. You will see me glue in the covers of these books very soon, but with that I should soon start to wrap up this video. As I said, this is the last spread that I'm going to set up in it, but I'm very much hoping that next week I can upload another video of me setting up my reading journal, and that video should include all the book tracking spreads that I made. So yeah, look forward to that. Until then, if you have any questions about any of the stickers or washi tapes or any of the supplies that you've seen me use in this video, please feel free to ask in the comments. I will try to get back to everyone. And if there's enough questions, or if you think that this is something that could be useful, I can also try compiling a list of all the resources that I've used in this video. I don't think I will do it right away because I'm not sure how many people will even watch this video and how many people would even be interested in that. But yeah, if it's something that you would want me to do, let me know in the comments and I will try to get to it. This video is not going to include a flip through because, like I said, the setup of this reading journal is not yet done. However, once I finish upsetting all the spreads and uploading all the videos, I do want to make a separate video dedicated to me just flipping through this journal and talking about each spread that I set up. So look forward to that as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I know this video is far from perfect. I'm just recording it with my phone, so yeah, I don't have any fancy setups or anything like that. I'm just trying to do my best with the tools that I have on hand. So if you have any sort of constructive criticism or advice or recommendations or anything that you think could be helpful or anything that you would like to see from me in the future, please feel free to leave that all in the comments. And yeah, with that out of the way, I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please consider subscribing, liking it, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, thank you for being here, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.